Well, Johannes, thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to see you on my iPad here. Not all of you, but I have to look to the next page to welcome you. And if I understand that right, also to welcome some of you to what's my hometown, Hamburg, although only in a virtual way. When I look around, it seems that I'm the only one with a tie. That maybe has something to do with the rare occasion that I have tonight, because also politics basically turned into home offices in the virtual space, which includes the Federal Foreign Office, which is quite challenging because our business is to travel to meet our counterparts, to try to understand their points of view better, but also to welcome guests to Germany. And so I'm already dressed up because this is one of the rare moments where we have a guest. So I'm gonna have dinner with the Jordanian foreign minister later. So that's also why we don't have that much time. But I was asked to say maybe some words about Hamburg and how I see my hometown developing, and what's maybe also of interest for you. I will try to keep it short, so to give you an opportunity to bring your own perspectives in and to ask questions. I'm a politician, so I try to keep it short. Don't expect too much from me. But I wanted to say that I think Hamburg, I'm not a neutral observer, so I was born in that city, and I love my hometown, Hamburg. But I really believe it's an interesting place to be. If you look also in other countries, sometimes the second city in size has a different character and some unique positions also in national politics and the economy, but also in the cultural space. And I believe, especially if you look at Germany's history, West Germany, East Germany, the very fact that Germany not only a name as a federal republic, but also in our political life, that gives states, and Hamburg is not only a city, it is a state, a certain role. And I believe that Hamburg has played that role for many, many years in a rather good and professional way. It goes also back to history. If you have already make friends with people from Hamburg, which we just talked about, that is possible, but it's not always going to be the most immediate thing that you do. We have a certain, well, some would say cold attitude a little bit, and you can discover that once you get to know people. That's not always what the image is telling you. But there's a sense of history, I think, coming from the tradition of the Hanseatic League. Although it seems that you are trying to build that spaceport, but we have a real port which has not only a significant economic impact in terms of employment, but also of impacting the culture of the city. And so I think not only if you look at the statistics, this is a very diverse city. I don't remember the exact statistics, but I think it's roughly 50% of the citizens of Hamburg that have, as we call it in German, a migration background. And by the way, I'm one of those people, although people expect to see maybe, I don't know, a different cultural impact. But my mom was born in Antwerp, another port city in Belgium. So we have family over there. And so this is not unusual also in terms of foreign languages. And I believe that gives the city a certain cultural impact that that has been there for many, many years, and which is very important. In terms of politics, I think that feature was not always embraced, but over time that changed. And I thought that I wanted to pick one example that I personally found very important, also because it had an impact on the way that that part of the society that came as migrants, as refugees, or as professionals from outside, but also that part of the city that has been born here as citizens of Hamburg, but never always felt or identified with the city. A policy that was very important, because a couple of years ago, our mayor, who then was Olaf Scholz, who is now the Vice Chancellor and Finance Minister of Germany, took a decision to write a letter to everybody living in Hamburg who fulfilled the criteria to apply for citizenship. It's not an easy thing in Germany. We made it a little more easier, but he wrote a letter to every family in Hamburg, living in Hamburg, without a citizenship, but would be eligible to apply, and ask those people to do just that. And we set up a service point in the Hamburg administration. So to cut a long story short, today Hamburg is the city or the state, whatever you want to call it, it's both, with the highest degree of naturalization in Germany. And we added a ceremony that takes place, well, right now under Corona conditions, unfortunately not, but in normal time, takes place in the Grand Hall of Hamburg City, Hall, where the mayor is then welcoming the new citizens. And it's a little funny. It's with, it's not only the national anthem, there's a Hamburg anthem, not everybody knows that, and some cultural program. But I think it has been very important. It's always reported in the regional press. So it's not only a message to the new citizens, but also to those who haven't applied yet, and for those who tend to ignore that part of our population. And so I hope that this the spirit that you can find in Hamburg is also a little bit related to your experience here. I want to be very brief with that history based in the Hanseatic League. It probably doesn't come as a surprise to you that Hamburg's international relations, both in terms of the economy, but also the cultural and political relations, have been very important. Of course, as a Minister of State in the Federal Foreign Office, I insist that foreign relations is the prerogative of the federal government. But the states have a real role here. And if you look at the development of and the economic momentum over the last decades, cities are increasingly playing a role. One of the interesting books of the last years was When Mayors Rule the World. And so Hamburg's network with sister cities, but also with other important cities, which we enjoy economic and cultural relation, is a factor. Also sometimes in difficult situations. So our partnership with St. Petersburg has had a very important role, especially in times when the overall relation cooled down. And maybe I conclude with the reference to Hamburg's sister city in China, which is Shanghai. You can see also, if you look at the list of sister cities, that we're looking basically to team up with other port cities. And that's also an interesting aspect, because the China trade has been increasingly important for Hamburg's economy, which has been very beneficial to us, but it's also increasingly becoming a challenge. Political climate is not improving. We have a pressure, especially from the old Trump administration, but we don't expect that to change significantly, to more and more decouple from China. And so Hamburg tried to present its unique position also to be a place to have that discussion about China, but also with China over the last years. And so, yes, it's an interesting place to be. And Johannes, maybe I stop here to leave you with some, and also to leave me with some time to listen to you, and if you have any questions, to answer your questions.